Up, really gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flaws, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up, really gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Hi, Bullhorn Betty. Thank you for my shirt. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Kids Club.
Her family has been struggling so much to find answers, and they have been met with lies after lies after lies from a lot of people that proclaim to be this young lady's friends. So
this is Layla Santinello. She has been missing since June 27th, 2023, and she disappeared from Kingsport, Tennessee. Chronicles of Olivia and I went out to Kingsport, Tennessee on several different trips, searching for Layla Santinello or any information leading to her whereabouts. These are my thoughts on this case.
well, I have to be honest with you. I was hoping by now we would have found Layla. So this has been very hard. You know, we want to bring her home. We want to make sure that her family knows what happened to her, I think is really the most important. Her family has been struggling so much to find answers, and they have been met with lies after lies after lies from a lot of people that proclaim to be this young lady's friends. Just like to speak to them just for a moment and just say, if you know something, say something, because her life does matter. For the family members of these people that know what happened to her, it could have been your daughter. It could have been your granddaughter. You need to ask them to stand up and speak up.
Learning today that 2 have been arrested in connection with the triple homicide out in San Antonio, Texas. This is the case of Savanah Soto, Matthew Guerrera, and their unborn child, baby Fabian. They were gunned down and dumped at an apartment complex and were located on December 26th.
It was a heinous act. It was unspeakable, the tragedy of it. When we talk about the manner of death has not been determined, the manner meaning, was it a suicide or was it a murder?
You said that ME said that for Matthew Guerra it was a gunshot wound to the head, but when we called them, they said it's a contact gunshot wound. What does that mean?
It means that it was there.
However, with new evidence and new information coming forward, we have learned that they died on the 21st in early morning hours leading into the 22nd. It was right before midnight when the car was dumped in that video that you just saw. What we've learned since then is that this is potentially a drug deal that has gone wrong. This is a robbery homicide because everything happened from execution to dumping the car in less than 10 minutes, according to the affidavit. Let me know what your thoughts are. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe here on TikTok to Bullhorn Betty. And don't forget, I have another channel. It is on YouTube. Please consider going over to Bullhorn Betty Crime Stories to get the latest and greatest on the up-to-date true crime news. Good morning, I'm Bullhorn Betty. This is Bullhorn Betty Crime Stories, and our daily discussion is related to Savanah Soto, Matthew Guerra, and their unborn baby Fabian. Savanah Soto is an 18-year-old pregnant mom-to-be and was getting ready to welcome her son, baby Fabian, into the world right before she disappeared. Her family went to meet her at the hospital to be induced, and she never showed up. This worried her family so much so that they went to the San Antonio police to file a police report on December 23rd. However, the San Antonio Police Department said they needed to file the missing persons report in Leon Valley. So that's what the family did. In the meantime, they were calling frantically to Matthew's phone, which is her boyfriend, as well as his family, because they thought there was something going on between Savanah and Matthew at the moment. And then they learned that that wasn't the case. Matthew's family couldn't get a hold of him, and so both families were very, very concerned, and Matthew's family ultimately filed a missing person report on him as well. Then we fast forward to December 26th. This is the day that Matthew and Savanah were found deceased in their car. Many people were speculating on who could possibly or potentially be responsible for this crime because Matthew and Savanah were both well known in the area. They were both well-known drug dealers in the area, and this played a role in this case. Well, since then, video came out that surfaced showing a heavy-set Hispanic male stepping out of a Chevy Silverado and helping what appeared to be a younger female in the victim's car. However, we learned after the arrest that Christopher was the female, the younger female that we saw in the video, because he was a 19-year-old boy with long hair and from the angle looked like a female. However, law enforcement did locate them and they charged Christopher Preciado, which is 19, with the actual capital murder of both Matthew Guerra and Savanah Soto. They charged his father, Ramon Preciado, with tampering with evidence and concealing bodies and other charges related to the moving of the body. And then his stepmother, Myrta Romanos, was the third arrest in this case, and she is presumed to be the one that tossed the towel to Ramon in that video. So today's topic, we are going to be discussing the funeral of Matthew Guerra and the upcoming funeral of Savanah Soto. We do have some updates on the case, so please stick around. God bless you, and welcome to Bullhorn Betty Crime Stories.
Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
What is up, my beautiful people of YouTube and X? It's nice to be here with you this beautiful Tuesday morning. Oh, come on. You guys are so cranky. So cranky. What's going on? It's Tuesday. It's not even Manic Monday. What? All right, I'll get on with it. It's nice to see you all here. I came into 262 messages. Let me repeat that again. 262 messages. You guys have been chatting up a storm. So I'm going to start like middle ways down. Let me just go up to the top and see who was here the first. Just to say hi to the winner chicken dinner of the Tuesday morning crap show. It's me too, followed by it's me, Jen. I love it. Okay, now I'm going halfway through because I don't know who all's in here. All I'm going to do, I think at this point, I may just say good morning to everybody because it's too big to even start. Let's meet Jen, Sonia. It's nice to see you, Skittles. I am Team Summer, Manic Mama T, Skittles Crime Show, TL, JB's Mama. It's nice to see you all here this morning. Lulu's Nana. The Real Me Too, I already said good morning. Southern Grammys up in the house, TL. It's nice to see you. Drew is present. It's nice to have you, Drew. Good morning, Rhonda. It's nice to see you. Nice to see you. Who else do we have up in the house? Darcy, did I say good morning to you? If I didn't, good morning. Tammy, good morning. It's nice to see you. Christina, good to see you. Nice to see you. Let's see, Emma M. It's nice to see you up in here. TLC is me. Casey, good morning. It's nice to see you. Mama Bear of 10. Good morning, Love Bug. Joyce is in the house joining us, followed by Vape King. Nice to see you, Vape King. Turtle Madness 2024. MJ is in the house. Mary P's Creations and more. It's nice to see you. Nice to see you. Who else? Teresa's up in the house. Good morning, Teresa. It's nice to see you here. And I'm getting close to the end at L. I see you. It's nice to see you here this morning. Nice to see you. I think I've got everybody. Hindsight 2020. Jules, Mel C. Good morning. I think I've got everybody. Every time I say that, see, somebody else pops up. Nani, it's nice to see you. Good morning. Good morning. Hopefully I got all my alphabet soups, my MJs, my LJs, my PJs, my if PJ's in the house, good morning, PJ. It's nice to see you. Who knows? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Second thesis. It's nice to see you. Devil Dog. Love it. Lucia, it's nice to see you. Cynthia, good morning. Who else? November Rain, it's nice to see you as well. Kimberly, it's nice to see you. Steph, Mike, our resident defense attorney. Angie, good morning. I think we got just about everybody. I'm scrolling. I think we got everybody. If I missed you, Courtney Dawn, I see you. If I missed you this morning, this is a big blanket good morning from the Bullhorn Betty channel to you. And that's a collective good morning. Everybody here should feel loved because you are loved, right? So we've been talking about this case called Savanah Soto, Matthew Guerrera, and then we learned the baby's name, baby Fabian. And this was a crazy case that in all sense, we would probably not be covered. Okay. In all fairness, and this is not just the Bullhorn Betty channel. This is literally everybody that has made this a worldwide case and brought this huge, media to it. That's us, right? Nothing gets out unless we're interested in it. So when we look back on what we are possibly interested in when it comes to this case, it's almost sticking out like a sore thumb, right? It's Savannah and it's the baby. Not that Matthew Guerrera should have lost his life. Not that Matthew Guerrera. Oh, thank you, Jen. It's me, Jen. Just donated one Bullhorn Betty gift membership. If you've received that, please don't forget to tell our beautiful Jen thank you. And she's also going through something right now. I don't want to go through it, tell you guys, but she's been going through some stuff. So guys, don't forget to put some prayers in there for It's Me, Jen, and the rest of our mods and anybody else that's struggling, right? Anybody else that's struggling. So it's really the 18-year-old mom and her baby that got the attention that it need, because there's, at the end of the day, there's more females in the true crime genre than there are men, and we have some weird stuff. Like when we hear of a pregnant mom missing, we kind of jump into action and utilize our platforms as quickly and as loudly as possible, especially when it comes to pregnant people and children. It's not that we don't get here any sooner for adults or whatever. It's just that there's almost this extra urgency that's almost organic and natural that comes over a person's being when it comes to a female or a child. I don't know what it is. It might just be how we are trained and how we are raised, and it might just be instinctual. I don't know personally where it comes from. I just know I try to be honest with myself and analyze stuff, right? And ask where this attention came from. And when I look at it and I strip kind of everything away, it really comes down to the 18-year-old pregnant mom to be that was just about to, the reason why we jumped on, because she was supposed to be having her baby and she did not show up to her doctor's appointment. And anybody that is a female, whether you've had children or not, no matter what, you've got friends, you've got family, that's an appointment you do not miss, and you do not miss willingly. So as soon as we all knew that she did not make it to her induction appointment, we knew something horrible was going on, and we all jumped into action. And that action put this to the forefront. I think every single social media creator was touching on this case some way, somehow, because again, it was a pregnant mom to be that missed her induction appointment that we all know you'd have to be dead in order to miss that appointment. No pun intended, but we knew it was going to be horrible. There, right out the beginning of the gate, we knew that this case was not going to turn out what we wanted, but we still, even with all that knowledge, we still went on our social media platforms to help locate this woman. We learned after we advocated for her that her boyfriend is also missing. Many of us, right off the rip, naturally looked and said, okay, could Matthew have done this? Literally before we knew who their names were, we even knew how to spell Savannah, right? The first thing when we found out that Matthew Guerrera was missing, we start looking into him and immediately find out that there is this assault charge on Savannah a year ago. And naturally, just like that, we think he's responsible. And I can tell you, whether I said it on this channel or not, I truly, when I was researching this, that's the first thing I thought. But then when I realized his family hadn't heard from him, my thought changed really quickly, because I know that somebody that does something like this, if he was responsible, because let's face it, we were looking at Matthew at the beginning. I don't care who you were, what street you're on, what creators you look at. When we first heard this, the next question is who's the baby's father and where is he? Period. It was the natural question we asked. But either way, we learned that he wasn't there, and that really changed it for me. Had he made a phone call to his family, had he called his father, had he called his brother, then I would have known that he may have been responsible. But when his family told me that he wasn't calling them, he wasn't picking up their phone for his father or his brother, that's when it told me that there's something more going on with Savannah and Matthew together. Because anybody that does something like this, let's take it, for example, that Matthew Guerrera actually hurt Savannah, he's going to need help, okay? And the first people, just like we seen with Christopher Preciado, who's the first people you go to for help? Your parents. So I would have expected Matthew to have had a conversation with their father, even one that says, I'm out of here, I'm going to Mexico, right? Or I'm out of here, I'm going to California, or I'm out of here, I'm going to Oregon, or I'm out of here, I'm going anywhere but here. Can you send me $1,000? Can you send me what you got? Right? I mean, his father did go in his house and found, from what I understand, again, it's rumored, it can't be factual, but it's rumored that he went into the house and took some items, including money, drugs, guns, just some other odds and ends, from my understanding, before he reported his son missing. When he kicked in the door, he realized everything appeared to be normal. It didn't appear anything out of the sorts. So we were all looking for every single heavy-set man driving a dark-colored pickup truck. It didn't even matter if it was a Chevy Silverado. Even though we could clearly see a Chevy emblem on the back of this pickup truck, law enforcement made it very clear to us that we were looking for a a Chevy Silverado, not a Ford F-150. People were still looking at Ford F-150s because law enforcement don't know what law enforcement doesn't know what they're talking about. What are you talking about? I don't know what the heck I'm talking about. Right? You know what they're talking about. So it didn't matter what kind of truck that they were in. If you were driving a pickup truck and you were a heavy set man, watch out. You were under heavy scrutiny. Okay, you were under heavy scrutiny. But something that they found, we also learned that they didn't have their phones. That's what we were told. Everybody, the rumor was going around that they didn't have their phones. And I do think that that was intentional. I think that that was intentional because they didn't know who had killed them. They know that they were dealing drugs. And I have to think they looked in that phone to see how they were how the dope deals were being made. I have to think that they were definitely doing that. They had enough probable cause leaning in that direction. They would have had the blessings of the courts, by way of signing warrants and what have you, search warrants. And there was something else that they may be doing behind the scenes, but they kept that from us and they let us roll with the misinformation, right? Because they didn't want people knowing that they had his phone, but they did. They had Matthew's phone. So just for you guys to see it, I'm gonna have to play the video because it's got the clip in there for the phone. I just got to find it. Here it is. This is the one. So sit tight.
I have some breaking news in the Savanah Soto case. Savanah Soto was a pregnant 18-year-old mom-to-be, and she was reported missing on December 23rd. We also learned that her boyfriend, Matthew Guerrera, was also missing at the time of her disappearance. Due to an altercation, many people thought he was responsible for her disappearance. He soon found out that to be different. Christopher and Ramon Preciado were arrested in connection with the death of baby Fabian, Matthew Guerrera, and Savanah Soto. Rumors had it that during the investigation, Matthew Guerrera's phone was not found. That is not true. Take a listen. So we learned this morning that Matthew Guerrera's phone appears to be with law enforcement. I don't know quite how we missed this, but I want you to check this out.
Detectives learned that both victims were involved in the sale of narcotics and used their cell phones to conduct much of their business. Detectives collected the victims' phones. Detectives collected the victims' phones. Detectives collected the victims' phones.
Did you?
So there you have it. The detectives did get both of the phones, and it was Savannah's phone that ended up tracking them back to Christopher Preciado. Now, there are a few things that we did not know whose gun it was, right? Whose gun was it? Well, we learned from the arrest of Myrta Romanos that it was her gun, allegedly her gun. And we have to look at this because I don't understand why a woman has a gun. I mean, I do, but I'm a single woman. If I lived in a house with a man, yeah, I'd like to know where our handgun is, but I don't want to be old. Like once you're in here, like, dude, you better be the man of the house. You better protect me. Here's the guns. Do I need to take you to the shooting range? I'm retired. Okay. I'm retired. Okay. When the man comes in the house, I'm retired. Okay. You take care of the man stuff, right? The gate needs to be fixed. The roof is leaking, right? And you need to oil the gun. Okay. Bullhorn Betty's done. Okay. Once the man comes in the house, I'm done. Okay. But it just makes me wonder because, and I'm being kind of a little joking and facetious about this, but I don't really, for whatever reason, I don't believe it's her gun. Her husband is a felon, can't own a gun. And I find it awfully suspect that she locked the door from allowing law enforcement in there. They literally had to force her. They basically told her, "You're either unlocking this door or we're tearing the door down." And so she unlocked it. And that's when they found the gun, and she acknowledged that it was her gun. Well, now we got this crazy crap going on all over the internet. We don't know what's really going on in this case. So I think Cinema Shogun might have a point. Let's turn the clock over to the cinema. I like the guy. I never really heard of him until this. I mean, I've heard about him before, but I never really paid attention to him because he doesn't. It's my understanding he really doesn't do true crime, and so occasionally he'll cover a case here and there, and this must be one that he covers. And of course, I'm researching the heck out of Savanah Soto, so every single thing in my For You page is about Savanah Soto, and naturally he pops up. And so I actually listened to him the other day, the first day that we had brought this up, and he was going through some interesting points. I think it was related to the family being upset or hot with social media for judging them or looking into the case and stuff like that. It was, and I understand their position. Nobody wants, this is their beautiful daughter, the mom to be. They don't want anything desecrating her memory, and I can't blame them. Who would want? They never thought that this would happen. She was about to give birth to her first child. This is like the furthest things from these young kids' heads that they're putting themselves in raw danger. Like, they know it exists, but they never think it's going to happen to them. And I have to imagine that is because that's the way my mind was when I was their age, But for the grace of God, for many of us, that's the case. We weren't into the gangs and the dope dealing and the slinging and the being in the streets and that thug and gang life. We weren't with it, but we have some type of experience like this of being a knucklehead and a ding dong when we were 20-something, right? I know I was. I'm not going to lie. Are you? Are you? I'm sorry. I gotta ask. I gotta ask. So I'm just gonna, and he makes such sense. And you know what? We know that this is true. I want you guys to listen to this man.
Soto case, we are in like this weird time period. And I see this happen with every case.
Every case.
It's like the time period where you're not getting any new information. The suspects have been caught, but your questions still aren't answered. And there's no real new information coming out.
Now, who can agree with that? He's already making sense. Like, we already know where cinema is going with this, right? He's a guy that's on here. He's got a great following. I can see why, because he expresses his viewpoint, but like me, I'm kind of a little more abrasive. It's like I'm softening. I'm growing, right? I'm softening up just a little bit. Don't tell anybody. I got a fake reputation to hold over here, okay? So don't tell anybody. We don't need this getting out, okay? But he says what he means, but he makes so much sense. You know what? I didn't know him either. And I got to tell you, I like the way he processes stuff. I don't know, sometimes I click with somebody's brain, I really do. And this is a person, so far, everything with this case, I can't express, but hands down that I almost absolutely mimic this man's everything, literally everything. I don't know what it is about, but him and I on this particular case, when he opens his mouth, I'm listening because he is saying this stuff that I want to say that is in my brain, and he says it. And I love the way he does it. I just do. And he's chill. He's totally chill.
And that is causing people to speculate and come up with wild theories. Of course, you have your people who, no matter how many people...
I don't know why you put a white... I don't get it. Many people actually Who's that? Cinema? Yeah, Rhonda, it's Cinema. Good morning, PB&J. It's nice to see you, love. I almost want to give you a hug and a kiss. I saw you here the other day, but I was in the middle of something and couldn't tell you good morning. But this morning, it's a little more relaxing over here. So good morning. Good morning, Bubble Bath. It's nice to see you. Not sure why they put the towel over her face. Probably because she was the towel lady. We can laugh. We can laugh at bad guys. Okay. I don't want anybody feeling, I don't care what the hate channels say. I can't believe they're laughing and joking about Savanah Soto and the baby dying. No, we're not. We're laughing at these knuckleheads. These idiots. That's who we're laughing at. Towel lady. We're laughing at towel lady. We'll do it again. So I don't know why you put the towel over her, but yeah, we'll do the loser button too. Yeah. Oh, let's do this one. Yeah, boo, boo, boo. Now, this is also going to go right into my diatribe. I always say to everybody, when we have children, we cannot be getting involved. I mean, there are certain things, that are minor issues that we may want to, as parents, step in to resolve the issue so it doesn't, develop into something bigger. And we remove that obstacle and we do our own, home type of punishment, stuff with schools and maybe an after school fight or something like that. We don't want the schools involved. We'll deal with our own parenting with our own children about that. Okay, so I can understand you putting your neck out for something insignificant and petty. This is not insignificant and petty. This is the actual murder of two individuals, one being grossly over pregnant, that was ready to pop, that needed to go and be induced because she was already a week over her due date. And this was her first child that she was probably excited to meet, but also very uncomfortable all the same because she was literally ready to pop. I don't think her skin could have stretched one more millimeter. She was just that big. So you're talking about the execution of two young individuals, and you're going to now stick your neck out and help your son hide the car, wipe down, help move the bodies. We had this conversation during the laundry investigation. We had this conversation when we learned that Christopher Laundry was out there cleaning Gabby Petito's van. They knew she was gone. I had said that from the minute that I learned that he went somewhere besides coming straight home. I knew he had already spoke to not law enforcement, his attorney, and I knew his family knew what happened to Gabby. I was assured of it. And they were out there, and I said, Christopher and Roberta should be in the cell right next to their son. And I went on this diatribe saying, you should not help your children in cases like this. Your job is to get them the best attorney, be that support system that they need, and help them get through this process as quickly and with as limited punishment, actual accountability as possible, right? For their actions. But being in the jail next to them, look at this. His stepmother that he's known for just about his entire life, his father right there. How are they helping their son right now? They can't even afford for him to have an attorney. They can't afford for him to have any type of benefit or help in any type of way for his upcoming capital murder investigation. Why? Because mommy and daddy are co-defendants at this point because they chose to help him. Now, there's been a lot of speculation as to whether Myrta is truly Christopher's mother or not. I can tell you the information that people are proffering as the proof to prove that she's his biological mother is not proof to me because I come from a legal background and I know those legal documents, and I know those legal documents in the way that there are couched. They do not have to be mommy and daddy. They can be, when she's married, he can be her son. We don't know if she chose to adopt him, but there's a reason why law enforcement can't make heads or tails of whether or not this woman is his biological mother. And every single one of them believes it's either his girlfriend or his stepmother. So I don't know whether she's his biological mother or not. I don't think anybody that are on here can say that except his family. His family would know. close friends to him would know. We, on the other hand, do not know. It does appear that in 2009, Myrta and his father Ramon did get married and tied the knot. There is and because they are a union, and you have to remember, this lady has been in this child's life since he was a young boy. So having him attached to a will with his father and stuff, as far as she's concerned, this is like a son to her. The Hispanic way is like I said, they are enriched in culture and tradition and proper. They have proper traditions for certain things when it comes to their girls and their sons, and how property is moved along and how that all works. It's a very, it's just, it is what it is. So I don't know if that's the case. And maybe he, even though he's the stepson, was given the property because that's the way the tradition has it, right? She's part of this family. She married Ramon. And when you marry somebody, you're married to them. Their family is your family. Your family is their family. That's how it should be in all of our families, but sometimes it's not.
People are arrested. No matter how much information you get, people are always going to think there's something more. There's got to be someone else out there that needs to get arrested. It's just this weird little period. It happens with every case. And when you look at the discussions surrounding this case right now, they aren't really discussions at all. It's just arguments. Now you got a lot of weird fake pages popping up, people impersonating Savanah.
Now, you hear what he's saying? Let's go back. I don't think you guys are listening to what he's saying. We deal with this so much on every single case.
Every case. And when you look at the discussions surrounding this case right now, they aren't really discussions at all. It's just arguments. Yeah.
I don't know if you guys, and not only that, but it's not just arguments anymore. Like, people are like, getting nasty with people over, like, none of us know. Let me just put this out there to everybody watching and the people that are going to be watching throughout the day, this segment. None of us know what's going on. You know who has the information and the answers, the 100% answers? Is Christopher Preciado. He's the one that knows what truly happened that night. I don't even think Ramon or Myrta know exactly what happened. I think that he went up there after he did what he did. I don't believe that his stepmother would have given him that firearm. I believe he took it. So what I've learned about Christopher Preciado, let's learn something new here. So this is what I've learned from a few sources about Christopher. I heard he was a quiet type. I didn't hear that he was like ultra bullied or anything that really goes like the Ethan Crumbly type situation. I didn't hear anything like that, but I heard he was like the pushover. That's what I heard. Now, you got to take this with a grain of salt because sources are sources. It is what it is. Sometimes they pan out, sometimes they don't. But that's what I heard. I heard he was a pushover. I heard, he was mediocre. He wasn't like the stellar academic person in high school, but he was nice. Nothing that, so it seemed like he internalized a lot of the stuff that he was dealing with. And I don't know if that meant that maybe when, say, we heard from the press conference that it appeared that earlier that night, the actual deal, the exchange of the marijuana, if that truly is what it is, we're just going to say substances, because we have to believe that whatever Chris is lying about, he's lying about all of it. Okay. We've already heard his statement on the affidavit, and let's just read what he said. I think it's down at the bottom. Okay, here it is. Yes, it is. So it says, your affiant then spoke with Christopher Preciado after Christopher Preciado was read his Miranda warnings. That's your right to remain silent. You have anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have a right to an attorney. blah, 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 blah. I don't know the Miranda rights verbatim, but you know what I'm talking about. All right. Those are our Miranda warnings. They're telling us that we have a right to keep our mouth shut. When you are, you know what, even if you're questioned, this is something that I've learned a long time ago, because I was in, even though I have a legal background, I was still in a lot of problems in my 20s. Okay. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Okay. I was a hot mess in my 20s. And when I was dealing with a situation, a legal, civil, it was a whole host of situation. It was just one big situation, right? And my attorney told me that if the cops come to my house and ask me if they can speak to me, that I always need to ask him, am I being questioned as a witness or being questioned as a suspect? And if I'm being questioned as a suspect, to shut my pothole. That's what my attorney told me. All right. So if you're ever in a situation where you're being questioned in a criminal case and you don't know, you might be guilty by association. I mean, you don't know, right? I'm guilty by association all the time. That's how my name got so big, right? But either way, you would think that everything he says, because he already was caught in a lie. Let's just read this. And because he was caught in the lie about the gun, it makes me wonder, is this truly over just marijuana, or was this something, more, a little stronger? We don't know. We're taking the one person that is responsible for executing these two people's word for it. And I don't feel comfortable doing that. I'm sorry. He just executed people. There's nothing coming out of his mouth that I'm going to believe at this point, unless it's the truth. And this isn't the truth, because he says, your affiant then spoke to Christopher Preciado. So the detective is now speaking to Christopher Preciado. After Chris was read his Miranda warnings, Chris reported that Matthew and Savanah drove to his residence on Charlie Chan Drive to sell Christopher marijuana. That low level, doesn't hurt anybody drug, right? Nobody gets hurt. It's a victimless crime, right? The marijuana, the victimless crime. Christopher Preciado went on to provide a version of events that were inconsistent with the evidence collected from the scene and recovered from the vehicle. What Christopher is claiming happened is that the male victim, which the male victim in this case is Matthew Guerrera, pointed a weapon at him, and Christopher was able to manipulate that weapon. So he's got the weapon on him. He did a kung fu move. And now he's got possession of the gun, but during that kung fu move, the gun went off and shot Savanah Soto in the head, behind the ear. Perfect shot. One shot gun. All right. Just a coincidence. So he did the kung fu move, got the gun. He's pointing the gun. It fires into Savanah, and it freaks Matthew out. Okay. I'm putting a lot of extra crap in here. Freaks Matthew out. So Matthew wrestles with the guns, gets the gun back, and is pointing it at Christopher, but still doesn't manage to make the shot. And Christopher lunges at him again and wrestles with him again and takes control of the gun, and this misfired a second time into the head of Matthew Guerrera. So close that they can't tell whether it's a contact wound, because the stippling appears that it was a contact wound. Doesn't make sense. We said that story doesn't make sense. People rolled with Matthew Guerrera being the one that brought the gun in there. We looked at it. We put up the pictures, and I cautioned everybody when I did that. I said, look, we're putting a lot of assumption that this is Matthew's gun that was used. And even though I put that warning on my show, that we have to be, like, even where this happened, everybody was saying it happened down the road, or down the road from his home, but that's not what this affidavit. Could it have happened down the road? Of course it could have happened down the road. But when you look at the timing of everything, this seemed ultra planned and ultra, it seemed strategic. The deal had happened earlier that in the evening, so maybe Christopher felt gypped, or something didn't pan out, or he felt like he was screwed somehow, or maybe it was just the opposite. We're assuming that he didn't know Matthew any money for that deal earlier that night. Maybe he was required to pony up the money and he didn't have the money in it. And he's like, well, what the F, man? And he's like, well, it's junk. I can't get rid of it. Well, you owe me all this money. What gives? You told me you would have it. Maybe that we're assuming a lot as to what happened based upon this affidavit that's very, very vague. So we were all on this whole thing about the gun, and it's crazy because I did a whole show on the gun explaining that it was possible, very possible, and this is why people were saying it was possible it could be Matthew's gun, because as displayed, he had two guns right there in one of the photos, one sitting literally on the middle console and the other one shoved in between his leg in the driver's seat and the console. So it is absolutely possible that somebody could have gotten in that back seat, reached up front, pulled the gun, and did what they did. Absolutely, hands down. But like I warned you, just because it's possible doesn't mean it happened that way. That we needed to get more information because something doesn't add up here. And what didn't add up when it came to the gun? It was the timing. How quickly everything happened. By the time we got this affidavit, we knew that there was markings, some blood transfer on the door that was probably indicative of a body rubbing or blood rubbing up against the door as they're pulling the body into the back seat, right? It's not something that kid, and I'm speaking of Matthew Guerrera, was a very tall kid, and dead would have been dead weight. I'm starting to believe that all of this happened inside that car. Even though there's only one spent shell casing in that car, there is an explanation for that because they had to drag a body out and manipulate a body. Is it possible that one of the shells fell out of the car? And there's still a possibility that Matthew was outside of the car talking to him, maybe arguing with him, and he just put the gun up and shot him, and she's freaking out in the car, and he goes in there and does. But I would think she would have opened the door and ran or tried to run. I know I'm not going to be sitting. If I hear a gunshot, I'm out of the car or locking the car door and hiding. I mean, she's a huge pregnant woman. I mean, she can't duck, she can't bend. She's kind of helpless. But we did put a lot of assumption into that gun being Matthew's, and then we had the jaw dropper. It wasn't Matthew's. It truly came from inside the house, which gave us that more teeth to the bone of the premeditation involved in this. Because let's look at the timeline. If they pull up to the house at 11:50, and that car is moving at 11:54, there's no time for argument. Because I'm going to tell you, it's going to take about a minute and a half to drag a dead body into a car and position them in a back seat. It's not an easy task. It's not an easy task. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. That's 30 seconds. That's only 30 seconds. Tell me what you can do in that 30 seconds. It's going to be awfully hard to throw a 200-pound, well, we'll say about 150-pound sack of potatoes of dead weight in the back of your car. Usually, you have 15 10-pound bags, right? That are easily moved. But if you had all those 15 bags into one big bag, you try moving that around and see how easy it is. It is not an easy task. So literally, he would have had to drop them both. Literally kill them both as soon as they walked out, as soon as they got there, within a minute or two, tops. In 30 seconds, you can barely get "F-you" out of your mouth. How are they going to have an argument that escalates so much so that two people are shot in less than 2 minutes? It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't. Give me just a second. I had some text messages. I think, Sonia, you did hear me. I said that was okay. Oh yeah, you did. Okay, perfect. Okay, I think that was really it. And the issue that I had this morning with it jamming up is because I was trying to get the messenger up on the computer. I figured the messenger up on the computer would be easier than trying to have it on the phone, for the mod chat, but I digress. So anyways, we still don't know the location, but right now, based upon the affidavit and based upon the timing from the time the car started moving from their property, I have to believe that they were killed literally in the roadway, in the driveway, or at their home, somewhere on their corner lot there. I don't believe that they were down the road at a vacant lot or anything like that, because it just doesn't, timing wise, the timing to kill them and drag the body and all this stuff, the timing, it literally took all 4 of those minutes to do every bit of that. So they wouldn't have had time to go someplace else. They wouldn't have had time to, the police say the car pulled at their home at 11:50, not 2 doors down at the home, not down at the vacant lot down the road, a tenth of a mile down the road. They said the car meant to that Charlie Chan and Cary Grant intersection. And that is exactly the intersection that their house is on, the corner lot that their house is on. So law enforcement's telling us it happened there, somewhere there. So they didn't really have, in my opinion, they just don't have enough time to get out and go to a different lot. But we won't know until further in this. But I want you to continue to listen to this, and then I'm almost done with cinema, and then we're going to go over to something else.
Got a lot of weird fake pages popping up, people impersonating Savanah, posting a lot of weird and wild stuff. I always tell people that when it comes to true crime, you'll meet.
I just want to go back. I want you guys to see, people don't get to understand because they see her all, dolled up with her makeup and stuff. Hold on, let me go back to it. There it is. All dolled up with her makeup when she didn't really have a whole lot of makeup. She had a baby face. She was a young little girl, She was becoming her first, that was going to be her first son, her first child. And she was so gorgeous and so pretty. And it's heartbreaking to know that she allowed herself to be in this lifestyle. And, this lifestyle took her and her son from this world. People don't realize, you're in a game. Yeah, the money is quick and the money is easy, but the cost is so great. It is so, so great. If half of these people, like these dealers, they have good, well-oiled organizations. If they took that and used that business sense into good instead of bad, these dealers would be just as successful doing good. And they don't have to worry about risking their lives.
When it comes to true crime, you'll meet some of the most you'll meet some of the kindest, most compassionate people this world has to offer. But at the same time, it's like a toxic environment. And I don't even like using the word toxic, but the true crime community, it often feels like high school.
Yes.
But not high school for a dude, high school for like a chick. It's like
high school for a chick. Let's listen to this again.
Word toxic, but the true crime community, it often feels like high school. But not high school for a dude, high school for like a chick. It's like
Yes, I agree. I agree with you. That is the way it is, because we got idiots here on the streets of YouTube that think they're somebody when they're not. These people, they don't care about the truth. They care about attacking other creators because they've got no content. And it's just this snowballing effect here on the streets of YouTube and the true crime community. There are some good true crime people out there that just stay focused on the true crime. But even then, they still get sucked into the drama of these animals, these idiots here on the streets of YouTube, because they think it's funny. They think it's funny because they just can't do their own thing and create their own content and their own fan base because they've got nothing. They can't think outside of the box to do that. So what do they revert to? Attacking other people, trying to make themselves feel better by making somebody else feel smaller. It's a bad business model. I'm just letting you know, horrible business model. And so you watch people do it over and over again and then wonder why their channels have temporary success and then major failure. It's because you can't build stuff on hate. And this is getting childish. We've all watched it. Childish. High school crap. Yes, over and over and over and over again. So we've already watched and looked at the Preciado's affidavit of arrest, but can we garner anything from Myrta's affidavit of arrest? And I want to read this because there are some things, we haven't read it here on this channel, and I know that there are some people that truly, either get it from here or get it from someplace else, but not everybody goes to the other channels that are covering this. So I thought this would be good for us to hear. I'm going to get past all of this stuff at the top and just go to what we know to be true. We know that on the 23rd, there was a missing person for Savanah, as well as Matthew from his family. The further investigation found that the female and her boyfriend were not responding to any phone calls. Their whereabouts were unknown. Media broadcasted the news story of the missing female and her boyfriend in the media. The boyfriend's car description was broadcasted in the media and was said to be a 2013 gray Kia Optima. On December 26, 2023, a resident at 5903 Danny K Drive messaged the family of the female and advised them that they believed that the car was parked at Danny K Drive. The family contacted Leon Valley and drove to the location. Upon Leon Valley police arriving to the location, Leon Valley police observed the vehicle. Inside the vehicle was a deceased pregnant female in the front seat and a deceased male in the back seat of the vehicle. San Antonio police were contacted and your affiant made the location. Upon arrival to the location, your affiant observed the vehicle. The vehicle was a 2013 Kia Optima with a Texas license plate. Your affiant checked the VIN number, and the VIN number was the same. A check through the information of NCIC and TCIC showed the vehicle belonging to the boyfriend of the female. Your affiant observed the front right passenger side of the vehicle. Your affiant observed a deceased pregnant female inside the right passenger seat. Due to your affiant's knowledge of the female on a previous murder case, which was her brother's, he was familiar with her and recognized her. The affiant observed the back seat of the vehicle and observed a deceased male in the back seat of the vehicle, and it resembled the boyfriend of the female. And the male had a apparent gunshot wound to the head. It appeared that the male had been dragged into the vehicle. Your affiant did not observe any weapons near the male. So they said they didn't observe any weapons or any weapon near the male. So there's no weapon near the male. That's what we have. I got to read the other affidavit because it says no weapon near the male, not no weapon in the vehicle. This might be a clue. I don't know. The search warrant was requested so the entry could be conducted. While waiting for the search warrant, your affiant spoke with the family of the female and the male. It was found that the boyfriend to the female sold narcotics and used his cell phone through cellular communications as well as social media to sell narcotics. It was also advised that the boyfriend would post money and narcotics on his Instagram. It was also stated that people wanted to rob the boyfriend, and it stated the boyfriend had been shot at before. The family provided your affiant with the phone number of the female. The family provided the affiant with his phone number as well as his Instagram page. When the search warrant arrived at the location, the search of the vehicle was conducted. The search found a spent shell casing in the vehicle. So it appears that it's one casing. It's not plural. It says casing. However, there is no weapon recovered in the vehicle. So the first part was what they could observe. There was no weapon near the male. Now they've gotten into the vehicle with the search warrant, and there's no weapon recovered in the vehicle at all. This has been a main question. We heard that there was no weapon in the car during the Preciados, but with the language above, I thought I'd question that. But now they're saying there's absolutely none. And I do remember hearing that and reading that in the original affidavit as well. There was apparent blood transfer outside of the vehicle that was not consistent with the boyfriend causing harm to the female. So they're saying there was blood transfer, and that was most likely with the transfer of the body from the front of the car or wherever that they killed him. And I'm starting to think that it was the front of the car. I don't know why I keep thinking he was in the driver's seat and they pulled him out, but it just makes sense for everything that we know. But it doesn't mean that that's going to hold water. It very well may be that Matthew did actually get out of the vehicle and was shot while he was outside of the vehicle. But I just, there's something about me. I think it just doesn't make sense for it to be any other way than him being in the car. But again, there's only one spent shell casing in the car, not two. There could be an explanation for that if they were both killed in the vehicle. But I don't know what that is. It could be that it fell out of the car during the transfer, something that simple. Or maybe it was something that was seen readily and the father or the son just picked it up knowing it could be used as evidence, not seeing the other one. I don't know. So let's get down here where it starts going into what the mother said, because we all know about the Charlie Chan drive and the fact that it was discovered on Savanah's phone. And here it says it again. Your affiant was able to discover that the victim's vehicle pinged near Charlie Chan Drive and Cary Grant Drive at 23:50 on the night they went missing. The vehicle did not start moving again until 23:54, literally only 4 minutes. I just realized it's raining. I can hear it coming through my microphone. I'm like, what is that? I don't have my AC on. It's raining outside, folks. So there you have it. Let's get down to here. So affiant spoke to Ramon Preciado, Chris Preciado. Okay, here it comes. So on January 4th, let me see if they changed anything with their statements that they've said. No, they didn't change any of the wording for their statements that they had in their affidavit. So here's the new part. It says January 4th right here. On January 4th, 2024, your affiant spoke to Myrta Romanos. Why can't I ever say her name right? Romanos. I can't ever. I don't know why. I can do it right once in a while, but for whatever. Romanos. There it is. Romanos. I knew it. So Myrta Romanos. Myrta stated that on the night of the incident, she was at her residence at 2735 Charlie Chan Drive with Raymond and Christopher. Myrta could not recall the events of that night. Instead, it stated she thought she was asleep. And that was on January 4th. During the search of Myrta's residence, Myrta's bedroom door was locked. Homicide detectives inquired about unlocking the door, and Myrta provided the key to unlock the door. Myrta stated that she kept her door locked and was the only person to have a key to that room. I don't believe she's locking her husband out of that room until she unlocks that door. I don't know about you, but that just doesn't make sense to me. During the search of the room, a firearm later forensically matched to the shell casing recovered in the victim's vehicle was found concealed in the room. During Myrta's interview, Myrta was questioned about the recovered firearm. Myrta claimed the firearm was hers and it was given to her by a family member. Some people here in our audience told us the family member was her father, that it was a memorial item for her. On January 5th, your affiant was notified that the firearm recovered in the closet of Myrta's forensically matched the shell casing recovered from the victim's vehicle. Due to the statements made by Myrta, Myrta intentionally concealed the firearm in an attempt to impair its availability as evidence during the investigation. So now she's being charged with hiding evidence, tampering with evidence, right? We already know that that's what one of the charges she has. Your affiant has reason to believe and does believe that defendant Myrta, on or about the 21st day of December 2023 in Bexar County, Texas, concealed evidence in an attempt to impair its availability as evidence during an investigation, violation of section 337.09 of the Penal Code of the state of Texas. So now we have all of them in hot water. And of course, Christopher recently graduating. This says 2023. I don't know. I've tried to source where this video came from for 2023. I haven't dived into 2022, but all the people that went to his school were in black gowns and I couldn't see them. Now, I don't know if they switched out the video. Maybe it was getting a lot of popularity that they didn't want and the school took it down. We've seen this happen before. But as you notice, he's wearing a red robe, not a black robe. So and because he's 19 years old, it leaves me to believe that it's possible that he graduated in 2022 when he was 18 years old, which is the typical 17, 18 is the typical age of graduation. Drew said he graduated in 2023. Why can't I find the actual graduation though? I can find this clip of it. I can find somebody else's work, but when I go to Marshall High School, I can't seem to find anything related to him. And everybody that they're showing on their walk is in black gowns. Like I said, they could have switched out the videos. I'm not sure. But I can't seem to find the original video. And that's what I like to do. I like to source these back to the origin, and I can't do that. I tried. I see that you say he's class of 2023. I've got that. I got you, Drew. But what I'm saying is I can't find it. And did he fail a class? Because why would he be graduating at the age of 19? Typically, everybody graduates this country between 17 and 18. So it's just, I just want to confirm that. I'll check it once I find it. I'll confirm for sure. But that's what it says. It says 2023, but I can't find the video. I went through the class, the whole entire class video, and I can't find it. So I don't know. And the people that were on the 2023 video are in black gowns, not red ones. So again, I'm not sure. Oops, give me just a second. I gotta refresh. There we go. Everything's kind of lagging on me. I'm not quite sure why this morning, but it is. How are we doing on time? Okay, we're doing okay on time. Okay. We got to watch for the Gilgo Beach stuff because we're doing a press conference. Oh, which reminds me, let me mute this once it comes on. Hold on. Everything's just slow. I'm not sure what's going on here. So if you haven't already, go out and click on Gilgo Beach. We're going to go into Gilgo Beach next. It's on its own little schedule. So go out there to the channel, Crime Stories channel, and notify yourself for the 10 o'clock or 9:30. I can't remember. I think I set it up for 9 or 9:30. So we're going to be getting off here shortly.
In other news, we want to inform you the funeral services for Savanah Soto have been delayed because of weather. We've not heard what time or day it was rescheduled to, but we will be following this for you as soon as we learn more.
So that's really the only update that I have here related to the services. Matthew's services went forward. As heartbreaking as it was a beautiful service. And I don't know who is doing their artwork of Savanah and, the wings and the pearly gates and the baby in her belly. It was just, they just did such an amazing job. What about Gilgo? Okay. It's a press conference. We've got a press conference. There's been some major updates in the Gilgo Beach, list, Rex Heuermann, Long Island serial killer. There's been an update in the case, and they're going to be going over those updates here shortly. And of course, we've got some other stuff going on in Andrew Hiltz, with Andrew Hiltz, Summer Wells, and the scamming going on with that. So we're going to be discussing that later today too. And I still have, the reason why I've been kind of hit and miss with my afternoons is because I've got legal documents I'm preparing and getting ready to get finalized so I can get those sent off to the court hearing. So I have to, that's my priority. And I have to, look at that. So trying to decide what I need to be doing here. Give me just a second. Let me see if we've got any updates, any further updates on, of course not. Let's just refresh this. Lord have mercy. This thing has got to be most difficult. Yeah, I don't see any news press conferences on the Gilgo Beach thing just yet. I hate this damn computer. I swear to God, I'm ready for a Windows computer. I hate Apple products. I don't know if you guys know. I know there's a lot of people that are diehard Apple products fans. And if you're rich, you can have Apple products because you can have it working streamlined as long as you pay about $300 a month to have all of the stuff that you need so you don't have to constantly be bouncing between two computers, because Apple products do not like Android products. They do not like any other product but Apple. And I'm sorry, they're too freaking expensive for my cheap ass, period. I don't feel like spending $300 a month to have a computer work. And that's what you need, because you need an app for you to flip your phone. You need an app for you to do this. You need an app for it to read. If you record on a Samsung phone, you need an app to download it on your freaking laptop. So you got to pay $39 a month for this, $39 a month for that, $39 just to run a computer. You know, every bit of this is on a Windows computer free of charge. Free of charge. Come standard. Come stock. And I get so frustrated. I hate Apple products, not because of their durability. I love their durability. I think they're great durability wise. I think that they're amazing product. I hate them though. I absolutely hate them. Outside of the construction of these things, I hate Apple products. I hate this MacBook Pro. I hate the iPhone. I literally hate it all. I could do so much. My production has gone through the shitters because of this whole Mac Apple crap. It's gone to the shitter. Because here's the problem. I'm stuck with this because unless I've got another $4,000, that's the only way I can upgrade my phone and my computer, because I bought Apple products instead of Windows products. So we're stuck. And everybody knows how I feel about Apple. Like, I sit here and I look at this phone. This is the most expensive phone I have ever had in my life. And I sit here and scream at it because I cannot do what I need it to do. Out of $2,000 that was spent on this, because this is not a standard phone. This is a 1 terabyte phone because of the work I do. I can't go with a 64 megabit or 120 gigabyte. This is a 1 terabyte phone. This is a very, very, very expensive phone. And I literally can't record myself going frontwards. I can't put the screen on this way and then flip it back to me like I can on the Samsung. The Samsung right here, I can do that. I can record both ways in one. You know what I can do with this one? I can purchase an app that costs me a monthly payment in order to do that on a $2,000 phone. On a $2,000 phone. I can pay a monthly fee to get my phone to work the way I want, but it comes standard with a Samsung. It comes standard on a Samsung. That let me not get on the diatribe. Now, granted, I dropped my Apple phone and it didn't kill my phone. I dropped my Samsung. I had to go buy a new phone, right? But I can buy 5 freaking Samsung phones with the cost of one Apple phone that I'm screaming at from daylight to dark because it refuses. Like, I can't even say a cuss word on this without it auto-correcting. When I pay $2,000 for a phone and I want it to say the F word, by God, it better dance the F word for $2,000 freaking dollars. I'm sorry, but Apple, you're not going to shut my mouth. You're not going to tell me what language I need to use. It's my phone and I'm paying $2,000 for it, damn it. I shouldn't have to say darn it on my phone, damn it. I better stop. People are going to say I'm raging. Because I rage so loudly, don't you know? I'm looking for this, guys. I don't want to go into... long that is. We should go for that one again. I like that one. Man, Bullhorn Betty is awesome. She's the best person on YouTube. Thank you guys. Oh, come on. Oh, you're flattering me. Oh, stop it. Oh, stop it. Oh, wow. You guys like me that much? Wow, guys, I gotta say. All right, I need to stop. So, I can't find the, we'll find it. We'll find it by the time the news starts. So we're getting up. I got about 20 minutes. I'm going to open up the phone lines. You don't have to call in if you don't want to, but I'm going to go ahead and open up the phone lines just to see if anybody has anything to add to the Soto case. Maybe some information was wrong, or you guys have updated information. If that's the case, please call that updated information in. There are a lot of people here that are just very interested in this case and want as much up-to-date information. And here's the issue is we can't order documents from San Antonio. We can. And I even voiced my frustration slightly because they can't email you documents. So what you do is you got to order documents and they mail them to you. In 2023, San Antonio, Texas doesn't know how to work a freaking computer. Oh, but don't worry, they're upgrading. Okay, well, let me tell you something. You guys should have been upgrading your system 20 years ago because you're in the Stone Ages. When I call down to, what are you kidding me? What's going on? Hold on a second. Let me see what's going on. There's something going on here. I don't know what's going on. Might be updating the information. I don't understand what's going on. I guess somebody's going to have to explain it. The phones are on if somebody wants to come up here and explain what's going on with the gift stuff. I don't understand what I'm reading here. Hold on a second. And I saw something come from somebody. I thought it was ICU for some reason, but I can't find it. I don't get it. I get that toaster oven's involved in something. I don't know about the expenses and stuff like that. I don't know. In this, I don't understand what it is. I don't know what I'm looking at. I can see the text messages and I'm following what it's saying, but I don't know what it's saying. Like what does it mean? They had cremation expenses covered, and I don't know. This is Betty. Hello? You went somewhere. Where'd you go? So I'm looking at this, and they're saying that Toaster Oven had the cremation expenses. First of all, this is Betty. Hello?
Hello.
Oh,
Hi, Betty.
is this Drew?
How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing well, Drew. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm trying to keep warm. We're at 8 degrees out here.
Oh, in Texas it's 8 degrees?
Yes.
Oh, well, I know it's going to be getting cold tonight because I'm listening to the rain on my head right now.
Okay.
But we're still warm. We're not that cold.
We're cold. You're lucky. You're warm.
Yes.
Yeah. You got rain going.
Yes, got
I
rain
sent
going,
you.
and it's above 70, I think.
Okay, yeah, you got some good weather.
Yeah.
Yeah. I sent you Christopher Preciado's graduation. So it's around the 152 mark, like
Oh,
an
thank you.
hour and
Yeah, I
52
kept
mark.
searching for it and searching for it, and maybe
Hmm.
it was a different the different high schools that were popping up, but I couldn't find anything with red, uh, the
Yeah.
red,
Gowns.
yeah.
It's it. I think when they're in different things, like I guess classes. I don't know how to put it.
Oh,
In
so
different
I
classes, they have
probably
different
didn't
gowns.
scroll far enough.
Yeah, so because they have different gowns, like the people that have awards and are getting
Mm-hmm.
everything, they have a different color than the rest of the people. So that might have been it.
Yeah,
That's why
yeah,
you didn't see
yeah,
it.
yeah. Okay.
I went to the church that Raquel Guerra attended, the Luz del Mundo.
Mm-hmm.
I went to it the other morning. Look, I find it strange, okay? This is just my opinion. Where they held Matthew Guerra's visual is at Woodlawn Park, okay? Woodlawn Lake. And then I was looking through La Luz del Mundo through their website, and they hold their events there too at Woodlawn Park. If you're trying to get away from a cult, a so-called cult, what are you doing holding your events in the same place they hold their events at?
Right.
Plus, they wear blue shirts. Okay, La Luz del Mundo, that those people they wear blue shirts for their events. So, what a coincidence that Matthew, and no disrespect to nobody, look,
Right,
to
right.
nobody, not to the Sotos, not to the Guerra, all respect, but this is what I'm looking at. They have the same blue shirts that the Luz del Mundo wear, the same color of blue.
Now, is that like a gang or something?
La Luz del Mundo is that church, okay? The so-called
Oh,
cult
gotcha.
church, okay? I apologize. I should have said that from the beginning.
Uh-huh.
La Luz del Mundo is the church that she used to attend, that she said is a cult,
Mm-hmm.
okay? Now, what a coincidence is that they're both wearing the same color of shirts.
Mm-hmm.
They attend the same places, the same, where they hold the same events. Like, do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
uh,
So because they're starting to say, because I saw the article where they're saying that there's been people like cult people like following them and harassing them
mhm.
and stuff like that, and then they're kind of Matthew Guerrero's family's kind of in this church now. Is it possible that they just are associated with them, or
Uh,
and make, because it seems like it's Soto's family that's been having some I don't know. I haven't even been paying attention to all the hate
it's
going
too
on.
many families involved. It's like
Yeah.
too many families involved, and everybody has already like their other partners.
Mhm.
So it's just like it's look. Are they trying to throw us off from something else? Why bring up La Luz del Mundo at this time? That church has been outed already as a cult. That
Mhm.
church has been outed already as being pedos. So
Oh, wow.
why all of a sudden is this church back into play in the mix of everything?
Well, you know
Are
what?
they?
Actually, this
Uh,
this could. I mean, I don't know what they're if whether they reached out to that, but even when they were doing that celebration of life in the field, it seemed like the folks from the church kind of took over and set it all up and everything. So it's
mhm.
possible that they reached out to the family and offered their services to the family either at a heavily discounted rate or free of charge, and that may
Um,
have been the reason. But there may be other reasons, but that would be one of the first reasons I would
okay.
think, because there are churches and people in the community when
Yeah.
you have something like this, they reach out and provide you as many
Yes.
services as they can afford.
Oh, that I understand. Different organizations, different churches, but why, like the church where she used to attend, why even be around the same venues or things that church goes
Yeah.
to? I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yeah, no, you're making
Um,
sense. I understand but it
okay,
probably it may just come down to
that
cost.
was
It
it.
may be something just associated with funding, when
Okay,
something like this happens. I mean, two funerals. Funerals are not cheap. Those caskets are not
no, they're
cheap.
expensive.
Very
Yeah,
expensive.
especially now in 2024. They're expensive.
Oh,
I got another thing. Okay, I was looking up. They have several of those churches around here. I didn't even know. Now, one is not too far from where Matthew and Savannah lived, 4 minutes away from their house. This church, the ex-cult church that Matthew Guerra's stepmom attended, they live close by, 4 minutes away from them.
Yeah, that is odd. I don't know what the reason would be for that, other than either centrally located
Mine is just
or
conspiracy.
price.
My whole thing is everybody's involved. Everything is in a, like, I can't say 5 mile radius because it's further than 5 miles, but everything is connected. That's what I'm saying. Every person, everyone is connected. There's more to this story, more to this than we know.
Oh, I
It goes
definitely believe that.
it
I
goes
think there's
deep.
a lot.
Yeah. But I don't know what else I want to say.
Let me
I think
do you know anybody that knew Chris? Because I've been hearing that he was kind of a nice guy, that he was kind of the pushover guy, the quiet guy, but not the like
mhm,
bully kid.
right. He was probably he probably was like Joker. He was the Joker, right? He was probably that way when he would
Yeah.
hang around people. He was probably the Joker. Yeah, he was about his business. Who isn't, right?
Hmm.
Who isn't? Um, but I personally did not know him, and I can say maybe in the past, like way in the past, I ran into some of these people because I would get marijuana from different people,
Yeah.
and people know people, and when they hang around, you hang around new people,
Yeah.
maybe in the past, in the
Trust me,
past.
you know where to go.
You
You know
know,
where
you
to
know what I
go.
mean, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. You know, yeah.
Yeah. You
Oh,
definitely
I
know.
got
You
one.
always have your main guy, you got your second
Yeah.
guy, and then you got your side guy.
Yes, yes. You do. I got one more thing to say.
Sure.
Remember the black Cadillac car that they mentioned? That
Yes. That they went
okay.
away in the first time. Yeah.
Uh-huh. No, okay, and I'm gonna say this. Nobody has talked about this, and I'm saying this because I've heard other people going into other platforms and taking my stuff and making it as their own.
Hmm.
Like the way you talk. I know the way I talk. I know
Right.
the words I use, and these people are going onto other platforms up and taking my shit as their own.
Yeah.
Like nobody's gonna think like me. Like I got my own thoughts.
Hmm.
I think my own way. But with the car, I have a picture. Okay,
Hmm.
I was looking through somebody's videos that they were doing, and I'm not going to say the person's name yet, but I was looking through their videos and I saw that black Cadillac. See, the person doing the video did not notice the Cadillac because they talked too much. They were talking too much. They were entertaining with the audience, but I caught the black Cadillac that was coming out of those apartments. I have a video. I took a screenshot.
Hmm.
I'm just going to say, yeah.
Now, who
So
do
I
you
could,
think? Do you think it was associated? Do you think it's associated with Chris or somebody else?
well, remember the neighbors said they saw them leaving a black Cadillac. Remember they said they heard Savannah screaming right that
Yeah,
night.
I remember
Or
that.
okay, and then they said they left in a black Cadillac.
And I remember that because I remember me and it's me too. We were going back with that
Uh-huh.
black Cadillac conversation as well behind
Oh
the
really?
scenes. Yeah,
Oh, so see,
yeah.
there you go. And I
But
took a
see, the
screenshot.
reason why I discredited it because it
Okay.
happened the day before on the 21st because we didn't think she at the time we were having this conversation, we thought she disappeared on the 22nd. So it kind of
Well,
bodes
well,
back into the other timeline, the 21st.
well. You know what? Because in the flyers that they're holding up, it says on the 22nd that Savannah's mom and them they spoke to Savannah the last time was on the 22nd.
Well, they couldn't have.
So
They had
right,
to have
but
made a mistake because they were pulled up in that parking lot before the 22nd.
really, so see, so somebody's getting that wrong.
Hmm.
But the car, nobody spoke of it anymore, and it's out there. I mean, I got a screenshot of it. I
Yeah.
could send it to you too.
Yeah. Why don't you send
You
it to
know,
bullhorn@gmail.com and I'll take a look at it
hmm
because I'm interested.
yeah, me too. Because it's like, things are out here, and we just got to pay attention,
Yeah.
to it, and we'll catch it. We'll catch whatever is being thrown out there. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say. you know?
Yeah. And it's sad because you know what, they could have, even if the things did pop off the way that they did, if they would have just called, you know, for some help, they may have been able
Yes.
to salvage Fabian. They let
Look,
Fabian perish. That was the
it,
most disgusting of all of it.
look, out of all those three people, Myrta, or I don't know how to say her name, Myrta, she, as a woman, she should have been the one that had a heart, should have had some type of feeling, motherly instinct. Even animals take care of their babies. So for this woman not to call in to try to save the baby, those people are evil.
And you know
And
what's
and,
what's
and she's gonna
crazy?
get what she deserves.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You know what's crazy is you brought that up, and I had no earthly idea you were going to say that. Ooh, this thunder! I got to get off the computer here
Well,
shortly.
I heard the thunder.
Yeah, the
Oh,
thunder's
shoot.
bad. I may not be able to do my other live, but it's
Oh.
crazy because I was going through this, and while I was researching, as you can see, I don't know how well. Can I take my background off real quick, and you can look at the screen. Hold on, virtual
I'll look at it.
background. None. There we go. My messy office. My donut I forgot I had, but here it is. You see, it's all through the research I was doing for Savanah Soto. But look at this. I came across this, and it's kind of weird because you just brought it up, and you're like, this is primates helping people.
Right.
This is primates. That's an orangutan helping a man from drowning.
Look, see, Betty.
And here's one where a boy fell into an exhibit with a bunch of gorillas, the big gorillas, and one of the females went over there and grabbed the boy, saved him, and then handed him over to the caretaker. Primates.
Right. She was cradling the little boy.
Yeah.
So what happened to this woman? They're deep into something. They're deep into something that their hearts are cold already.
Mm-hmm.
They have been left to the deprivated mind. I don't know if that's how you say the word, but they've been left to it already.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, if an orangutan and a freaking gorilla know the value of human life, but we as human beings can't quite get it, we got problems.
Wow. Yeah, we do. As a society, we do. And as women, we should have that instinct.
Absolutely.
To care for people. For even men have that instinct, But we as women, because we're the ones that carry children for 9 months,
Yeah.
We as women should have that empathy, that in us.
Yeah. Yep.
That's just crazy.
Well, Drew, I appreciate your insight as always. You take care, and we all love you. It's always great hearing from you.
All right, thank you, and y'all be careful out there. All right, bye,
Take
ladies.
care. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
So I'm going to take this time while we got on here, and I'm going to try to find the press conferences that are going to be going on in about an hour, but usually about 30 minutes before they start setting it up. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and bring down this live. If you guys are interested in the live press conference for Gilgo Beach, please go over to my channel, which all you have to do is just click the X right here. I'll go down to a bar down there, and you go to my channel, Bullhorn Betty Crime Stories. You go to the Gilgo Beach press conference and go ahead and hit that notification button so you're notified when we go live. We'll be going live in about 30 minutes on that channel. I need to find a way to find the link, because I'm not going to go live if I can't find the live link. We'll go live later today and discuss it if I can't find the live link. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to bring it to you guys live. So just give me a few, get on over to the other channel. It should already be activated now. So just go out of this channel, go into the other one. But before you leave this one, don't forget to give Bullhorn Betty that thumbs up. We need the thumbs up. Thumbs up is what gets this out there to other people. It gets people on the For You page. We work really, really hard. And this is the one show you can count on every single day. Rain or shine, 7:30 a.m., sometimes 6:30. We may go back to 6:30, but here lately it's 7:30 a.m. on time, okay? So be there or be square. We're going to go over to the Gilgo Beach update and press conference. We learned over the last week that over the last few weeks that they were gearing up to that 4th murder charge, and that was of Maureen Brainerd Barnes. She was the 4th victim. There was just not quite enough evidence to make it stick. So they had told us about a week ago or so that they were getting really close to that 4th charge, really, really close. And then we didn't hear anything. And then all of a sudden yesterday, we start getting notified that there's going to be a press conference. The press conference was originally, I think, at 9 or 9:30. And then I checked it this morning on the Suffolk County DA's site. He posted a new press conference page and it said 10 a.m. So we're going to go over to the other channel, or this channel, just the other show, for the Gilgo Beach live press conference update. So I'm killing it now. Go over there. I'll see you there in just a few shakes of a tail. All right. Goodbye. Love you. God bless. Go make it a great day. Get the hell out of here, folks. I'll see you in the other room, okay? All right. All right, guys. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, please be safe and kind to one another, especially in that chat box below. God bless you, and I'll see you in about 2 more minutes. I'll see you in 2 more minutes. Which one do I want to go out with? You know what? We'll go out with, I'm going to use the Savanah Soto intro. We're going to use that as the extra. So outro. There we go. Extra. Exit. All right. Bye, guys.
Good morning. I'm Bullhorn Betty. This is Bullhorn Betty Crime Stories, and our daily discussion is related to Savanah Soto, Matthew Guerrera, and their unborn baby Fabian. Savanah Soto is an 18-year-old pregnant mom-to-be and was getting ready to welcome her son, baby Fabian, into the world right before she disappeared. Her family went to meet her at the hospital to be induced, and she never showed up. This worried her family so much so that they went to the San Antonio police to file a police report on December 23rd. However, the San Antonio Police Department said they needed to file the missing persons report in Leon Valley. So that's what the family did. In the meantime, they were calling frantically to Matthew's phone, which is her boyfriend, as well as his family, because they thought there was something going on between Savanah and Matthew at the moment. And then they learned that that wasn't the case. Matthew's family couldn't get a hold of him, and so both families were very, very concerned, and Matthew's family ultimately filed a missing person report on him as well. Then we fast forward to December 26th. This is the day that Matthew and Savanah were found deceased in their car. Many people were speculating on who could possibly or potentially be responsible for this crime, because Matthew and Savanah were both well known in the area. They were both well-known drug dealers in the area, and this played a role in this case. Well, since then, video came out that surfaced showing a heavy-set Hispanic male stepping out of a Chevy Silverado and helping what appeared to be a younger female in the victim's car. However, we learned after the arrest that Christopher was the female, the younger female that we saw in the video, because he was a 19-year-old boy with long hair and from the angle looked like a female. However, law enforcement did locate them and they charged Christopher Preciado, which is 19, with the actual capital murder of both Matthew Guerrera and Savanah Soto. They charged his father, Ramon Preciado, with tampering with evidence and concealing bodies and other charges related to the moving of the body. And then his stepmother, Myrta Romanos, was the third arrest in this case, and she is presumed to be the one that tossed the towel to Ramon in that video. So today's topic, we are going to be discussing the funeral of Matthew Guerra and the upcoming funeral of Savanah Soto. We do have some updates on the case, so please stick around. God bless you and welcome to Bullhorn Betty Crime Stories.